Hey, what's up, guys? Robin here with Oracle Rising. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm doing another talk about full moons because we do have one coming in on Halloween, October 31st. At least in my region, feel free to check out when it's going to be at its peak in your region. Again, this is going to be a full moon, so you'll see the entire moon brilliantly lit up. And this is going to be what is called also a blue moon. So this is going to be, like I said, a very impactful full moon. So I wanted to talk about that. And I did bring a deck with me, and I was guided to bring the Starman Tarot card deck as we move through these 6 points that I found that are related to the spiritual aspects of the Halloween full moon. So this is going to be a time of massive abundance and great fortune. So what does that mean for you? I felt like myself, and I've seen comments on my other channel, especially when I do the wealth and abundance readings. People are like, oh, I've just been manifesting my backside off, and it's like nothing is coming in. So what is taking so long? And you know what? It's just been a real upheaval all around the world. So it's like things have to sort of go into a dip before they climb higher. Like life really is a roller coaster ride. So you should be able to see as the full moon comes into effect for October 31st that your abundance and signs of great fortune will be coming in for you. So let me do a deck cut and we'll have a look at these fantastic cards here. This is amazing. This is just so amazing that I pulled the Sun card, because everything is coming back out. Like once that full moon fades and the sun comes up in the morning, you should start to see signs right away. You'll probably start to see angel numbers, or you could start to receive small amounts of money that lead to big amounts of money. The sun really talks about abundance. It's also how the day breaks into its full glory. So really, really amazing card for you guys to stay focused on the highlights of your life. So I'm going to, all right. So the second thing that I have here is that the veil is thinnest on October 31st. So what exactly does that mean? People say when people pass on, they're on the other side of the veil, and people believe that your soul continues its journey, just not in physical form anymore, because we're made of energy, and energy never dies. So your ability to communicate with your ancestors or anybody on the other side of the veil should be greatly increased as we move into this full moon, especially on Halloween. There's a lot of communication available to you. If you wanting to talk to somebody, this would be the greatest time to do it. And you don't need a Ouija board. You don't need to have a seance. You just have to sit down and talk and meditate and, ask people to visit you in your dreams or give you a sign that they're there. But be prepared, understand that it's going to rock your world a little bit when you see signs that that person that you're calling in, that entity that you're calling in, they're there. Okay, so really brace yourself. And if you're not somebody that is familiar, or if you don't have the fortitude to sit and do it by yourself, get somebody that knows what they're doing to sit with you. And I've had my own communications with people on the other side of the veil, and it's extremely draining. So just know that it's not a big picnic. It is something quite taxing on you, because your spirit is reaching across the divide between life and death. And I'm going to pull a card on that one for you guys. So we have the Justice card. This is really interesting. You could really resolve something by talking to somebody, on the other side. Maybe there's somebody that you need to forgive, or they need to forgive you, or give you some comfort or solace with this Justice card. I really love this card, you guys. And honestly, there's been a couple times where close friends of mine have had a family member pass away. And I've done tarot card readings to sort of channel that energy of the person that has passed on. And for me, I've had paranormal experiences my whole life, but it is one of the most emotional, taxing, draining experiences that a person can have, to really sort of pull in the energy of somebody on the other side of the veil. But it looks like you might even just want to talk to them without calling them in, and just sort of broadcast out, I'm really sorry I never got to say goodbye, or just whatever it is that you have to say to somebody that has passed on. I mean, some people, the last words that they have with somebody that passed away is an argument, and then they live with that regret for the rest of their lives. So this is a really good time to bring in the balance with justice and kind of clear the air. It's never too late to talk to people. I think it's a great time to talk to people, because the response is, you can't get in an argument anymore. You probably won't hear things that, you never wanted to hear in the first place, because when people come in from the other side of the veil, they're so full of love and light that it's going to be a wonderful communication. So the third thing that I have here is it's the peak time to perform rituals or spells. Okay, so that's a little bit on the witchy side, but you know what? Anything that you do to enhance your life, whether it is a meditation or if you do affirmations, if you dance, do yoga, make no mistake about it, those are rituals, and when you say affirmations or pray, this is spelling. Spelling is speaking things into existence, and this has been really railroaded, calling people witches and stuff like that. It's the same thing that everybody else is doing with prayer. You go to any church and people are like burning incense and, different things like, with the bread and the wine, and these are all rituals. They are just more acceptable rituals. So whatever it is that you want to do, you want to charge your crystals, you want to dance under the moonlight, you want to pray, you want to meditate, you want to have that bubble bath, maybe have a bubble bath on your lawn if you're in a rural area. It's a really good time to do that, because it is going to be when the veil is the thinnest. You can communicate with your ancestors, and also the full moon, the power of that. This is something is going to happen really seriously, you guys, here, but in a good way. We've got the Judgment card and the Justice card. So the Judgment card is like really, this is a high communication, it's really parting the seas of time. The illusion that there is a separateness, it's going to end. For a lot of people, you're going to start to see things that it's going to unlearn a lot of things that you've learned in your life. Judgment is, he just really feels like, almost like Moses parting the Red Sea. It's like you're going to see, you might have a clairvoyant dream or a vision, if you're the type of person that would sit in a sweat lodge or do like a shamanic drum meditation or shamanic dancing or something like that. You could have that visionary dream that is going to propel you through the rest of your life. And you could also come in contact with a newly assigned guardian angel, because you are actually calling in a higher intention for yourself. Very interesting. So, and again, like, you kind of want to be with people, or that is really experienced in doing stuff like this, or be very experienced yourself, because it can be a little bit scary, when you call in, when you see your guides, when you see your ancestors, when you feel them, and you don't want to shut yourself down, especially because it is going to be on Halloween, and you could start to get really freaked out. So let's see, your higher self is going to be more accessible. So again, this has to do with the higher communication, coming into a higher abundance with your life. Really, if you're going to be like deepening your spiritual practice, then your higher self, you're going to be able to hear your higher self a lot more. They always know what you're doing. They know what you're doing before you're going to do it. They're going to be like, there they go again, so you might actually start to hear things, and this is an immediate voice. This is how you can tell it's your higher self. They come in very quickly when you ask questions, when you ask for guidance. It's there, you know? It's almost before you finish asking the question or make the statement, you know? Might even come in a bit of a different voice for some of you. So let's see here. I'm going to pull, and I'm getting 2 cards, so I'll take them. Yep. Okay. You guys better be ready. You better like hang on, because we've got the Starman card and the Star card. So the Starman card is typically the Magician in other decks. And it's Sir David Bowie in this deck. So your higher self is going to be basically taking you by the hand, you know, and connecting you with Source, with universe, with God, and leading you into this life of abundance and great fortune. So it's very important that, like, if you're having a bad day or whatever, don't write off your entire life. It's just a bad day. It's a bad mood. Angel number 1111 came up here, you guys. Your higher self is the connection between you and Source and the universe. You know, the Star card is just really like that conduit. So understanding who you are, and you'll have a greater understanding of who you are likely, you know, before the clock strikes midnight on October 31st. There's a lot of people coming into their highest power this year in 2020, and that's part of what is going on here. I don't really like to talk about the pandemic too much, but it is the catalyst for the higher change, you know, moving into 4 and 5D awareness. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So let's see, it's a perfect time to connect with angels, right? So never forget about your angels. They're always around you. I think a great example of that is the movie City of Angels, you know, and I love the way that the angels, they're at the library reading over your shoulder. I love the way that they stand at the ocean and they watch the sun come up and they say that the sun sings to them. And, you know, that really coincides with, you know, how people download energy and DNA codes from the sun through sun gazing first thing in the morning. So your angels are always around you. You always at least have one angel. You are assigned a guardian angel at the moment of your birth, and they can come in and out of your life depending on what sort of challenge you are facing. One of them might have a little bit more expertise than another one. And you can call on angels, archangels, anytime you want. Like, you know, I think I've said this before on both my channels. Like, I ask my angels for a good parking spot. You know, I have no shame. Yeah, I don't want to walk 10 miles from where I'm parking to the grocery store in Manitoba when it's minus 50. So, hello, archangels. Archangel Michael, yeah, get that person out of that spot right now so I can park there. You know what I'm saying? So we have the 8 of Cups here, and this is so hysterical. It's like sometimes they're like, oh, boy, you know, what is going on with this human? The 8 of Cups, it really wants to stay anchored in your 3D reality, right? But you're being called to ascend. You guys, if you're here on my channel, Oracle Rising, or if you're watching Aries Fire Tarot, and you hear me talk about spirituality, and some of my first videos were about exiting the 3D matrix and explaining that the movie The Matrix is a documentary, it's not a movie. You could be really feeling anchored. You could be called on to go back to sleep a little bit. And that is really depicted in that movie, The Matrix. If you haven't seen that, please watch it, because it's very eye-opening. You know, there's some dude in the movie where he goes and he's with the Matrix team, you know, he's with Neo and everybody. And then he's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with trying to raise the vibration and blow up open the reality of the 3D world. And he wants to go back, you know, so he can go back to sleep and be in his bubble and just be a battery for like whatever reptilians or whoever is really controlling everything, controlling the matrix, the keepers of the matrix. And you might want to check out the Ancient Secrets of the Flower of Life, because that was mind-blowing when I watched that ebook. Did I watch an ebook? It was an audiobook, and I listened to it, but it was very descriptive. And they also give a free link to the PDF for the book in one of the comments, which is really, really cool, because they talk about sacred geometry and hieroglyphs on Egyptian pyramids and stuff like that, and the way that they connect the dots. Whew, that's quite, yeah, it'll freak you out, man, but wow, really illuminating for me. So the sixth one that I have here is really going to be important for you guys. This is relationship inequalities will come crystal clear for you. And do you know what I mean? Relationship inequalities. It's like the simplest thing you can do is if you stop reaching out to people. Like if you're the one, hey, good morning, texting, and you're always happy and you're doing things for everybody else. If you stop doing that, who asks how you're doing? Hey, where have you been? Oh, I'm just checking on you. I didn't hear from you this morning. That's a huge one. You know what? So try that. Or you could just start to really recognize, like, hey, I have a friend that I pay for everything, and they just kind of, oh, thanks, man, and away they go without giving it back. You know, there could be a lot of you that are in like 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, or somebody just a complete selfish relationship hog. And, you know, and it can invert. You know, you'll start to realize, I really need to be putting a little bit more work into my friendship, my romantic partner, my business life. You know, so, you know, the mirror goes both ways. You know what I mean? So while you're busy putting other people under a microscope to see like where, if they measure up or not, put it on yourself too. That's also very important. And the card I pulled here is the King of Pentacles. So this is a very bountiful energy, and you could start really like supporting yourself a whole lot better by asking for what you deserve. A lot of people are afraid to ask for what they want in relationships. And if you're whatever kind of partner, you know, your friendship is a partnership, work, whatever's going on. If it's not making you feel like the King of Pentacles, what are you doing? You know, why are you wasting time? We're not little kids anymore. Like, relationships are investments, and they should be 50-50, and sometimes they're a little bit less, but it should be a give and a take. And, you know, sometimes somebody else is having a bad day and you're there for them, and it should flow back and forth. It shouldn't be a one-way street with you pouring everything in here and getting nothing in return, and you feel like, hello, you know. So the King of Pentacles is really important. He really values himself, and he's able to build his empire because he knows his worth. So this is very important to know your worth and what is worth putting your energy into. So this is going to be a really intense full moon for you guys. So yeah, I wish you all the best out there, and definitely let me know what you think of the video / reading down below in the comments, and I'll see you back here another time. And if you haven't seen The Matrix, please just go watch it right now. Don't wait. All right, guys, I hope you have a blessed full moon. Take care. Bye. Bye.